Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more buckshot testing. And I've got another pretty interesting little combination out here today that I'm curious to see how it actually performs. We may see some good results or we may see some terrible results at the same time. And for the load I've brought out here today, I've got some of these. These are some Winchester Super X 410 2.5 inch 3 pellet triple-aught buck loads going about 1,300 feet per second. So we're back out here again with some 410 buckshot. And as for the setup we're going to be running today, I've brought back out this little guy. This is a New England Firearms Pardner model SB-1. This is a youth model 410 with a fixed full choke barrel. So it is a pretty short, stubby, lightweight little setup here. And we've definitely seen some pretty mixed or interesting looking results out of this so far from all the testing we've done with it. So maybe not the most perfect or ideal setup necessarily, but if you're shooting 410 buckshot, chances are you probably have some sort of old single shot break action 410 that probably has a fixed full choke barrel or something similar. So it's at least a pretty realistic test anyway. But speaking of that test, the last time we patterned buckshot like this through that setup, we tested it at 40 yards, and a lot of you guys said that if you are shooting 410 buckshot, you're sticking to 30 yards and in, and you wanted to see some 410 buckshot at 30 yards to see what it could do. So for today's test, that's what we're going to do. I have the big paper set up down there at 30 yards. I also have the chronograph, so we'll be able to see what kind of speed we're getting and how close it is to the box posted velocity. So let's get you guys a view of this chronograph and we'll take our shot. We'll look at what kind of numbers we have, and then we'll go down range and see how they actually perform. Now, do I think these are going to be amazing and the best buckshot pattern we've ever gotten? Probably not, but we never really know unless we try it. So let's go over here and shoot them and see what this combination might be able to give us. Alright, so as we can see here, that round gave us 1217 through the chrono. The box was claiming 1300, so we didn't see the claim. However, we are working with a relatively short barrel in that youth model gun, so 1217 is really not all that bad for the setup that we're working with. So nothing really too unexpected here, but how did they actually shoot down at 30 yards? Let's go take a look and see. Alright, so now we're down here at our 30-yard paper, and this is what we got here. Now, this whole sheet of paper is roughly 36 by 36, and the white dot was my point of aim. So we did hit to the left here a little bit, but we did have all three of the pellets hit this paper. And as you can see here, it's not too terrible. At 30 yards, it's a 10.25 inch spread, and that is from the left hole to the top hole. It's about 10 1/8 or so from the left hole to the bottom hole. So overall here, just a tad over a 10-inch spread. I'm not calling that too terrible. Now, is it anything impressive in the grand scheme of things for like your normal buckshot loads from say a 12 gauge or something? No, it's not really all that impressive. But I can tell you it's way better than the 5 pellet load did at 40 yards, and that has 2 more pellets in it than this load. So I definitely think you guys were probably correct in saying that 30 yards is about the max distance that you would ever use 410 buckshot. Now, with that being said, would I take that after a deer or hog or something? I don't think I personally would. Could you do it at probably 20 yards? Maybe, but I definitely wouldn't suggest it. So this is probably more so a predator load, or potentially even like a home defense load, maybe, because I mean at 7 or 10 yards down the hallway, that would absolutely do the job out of any 410. So overall here, I'm definitely not displeased with that. It's definitely nothing, you know, super impressive or anything, but for the setup and the load combination that we shot here, I mean, I think that's about as good as you're going to get out of it, in my opinion anyway. Okay, and here's the little gas check buffer piece that they use in these shells. It's the same piece across both the Winchester buckshot and the little 410 slugs. It's just this little blue piece of plastic that's got these little divots on both ends, and this one does have these little slash marks in it here, but that almost looks like a manufacturing tolerance type of thing where they might have had that when they were loaded in the shell. So overall, nothing really too special to see here, but these shells do use this if anybody was curious. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance there? I mean, is it anything, you know, impressive compared to the modern world of like 12 gauge double-aught buck or anything like that? No, it's not. But for the combination and the setup that we used, at 30 yards and in, you could probably do something with that load. whether it be for a defensive purpose or predator hunting or maybe even chicken coop defense. So overall here, not too terrible for what it is, I wouldn't say. And I definitely think you guys were probably correct when saying 30 yards is about the max for a 410 buckshot load. But as usual, leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. Is that about what you expected to see, or a little bit better, or a little bit worse? And if you shoot 410 buckshot, what shell and shotgun combination do you use, and what do you use it for? Let me know all that down in the comments. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to film for you guys, so stay tuned. We do have an Instagram as well as the channel mailbox, so if you're interested in any of that, or would like to send something to the channel, then all that information will be in the description for you. But I'm going to jump back to it. Stick around, we've got plenty more new loads coming as well that you're not going to want to miss. But with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one.